firstly, I would like you to welcome you to our radio stations, Lyca Radio and Lyca Gold. And I remember interviewing you when you did Guinea with Sunny. So it was a few years back. Things have changed. You've got married as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So
A
it's
lot
been,
has changed.
firstly, congratulations.
Thank you, Ruby.
So let's talk about your movie. Some fabulous reviews. I remember seeing you in Badlapur and also in Kabil. And especially in Kabil, I don't know, something just hit me on the heart and the head. And I thought, this this girl is far-reaching, doing a lot of things and doing a lot of amazing things. And now I saw the trailer of Lost, and it seemed so real and natural. लग नहीं रहा था कि कुछ उसमें बनावटी कुछ है. लग रहा है सचमुच में यहाँ पे हम हैं वहाँ कोलकाता में. So firstly, tell us about Lost, because you're looking for somebody, right? So it's like a crime thriller thing going on.
Right. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you for all your kind words. And Lost is a crime thriller, but very importantly, it has an undertone of an emotional drama at the same time, human drama. जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि कुछ बनावटी नहीं लग रहा है, that's of course because of my director. That's the sur of the film that Tony Da wanted in the film. So it is not just a thriller where something is happening in every scene, or like I did a thriller called A Thursday, which was a very different kind of a thriller, and but this is a very different derivative of being just a crime thriller. It's also talking about human emotions, certain human values, and integrity, most importantly. Media is just a tool. The film is talking about integrity in today's time with media, but that's just a tool that could be applied to anyone, with anyone, with any walk of life. So that's the film about.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem very, very real, as you mentioned. And, the director, which I believe you called him Tony Da. Yeah, he is phenomenal. And how he gets, the reality showing on the screen is truly wonderful. Like in Pink as well. You worked in Pink with him. Right. So what's the difference now this time?
No, I didn't. I've watched Pink, of course. I was not the actor on Pink.
Yeah.
With Tony Da, there can't be any kind of pretense. He's one of those directors. He'll always push for natural. He'll always push for, be it in performances, be it locations, be it the way he shoots. Even if you're shooting in a room, but you should feel that discomfort. You should feel in what kind of room have I entered. You know, that's the way he shoots, and that's the way he likes it. We shot in the middle of pandemic in Kolkata, in the streets of Kolkata, with real crowd. There was no background artist or anything. They were all real crowd, people walking on the street. A number of times I was told, okay, the camera is right behind that tree or behind that. There's a tree behind this tree, that one. Okay.
Wow.
So all real locations, everything, and natural performance. Sometimes we feel that, we've not performed, we've not done anything, because we feel we need to do something. But just in like real life, how you and I are talking, I don't think I'm putting any effort except for the energy that I'm putting to talk. That's just me. He wants to capture this. He wants to just capture two people talking, and this journey of this girl Vidhi and her Nanu and everything, all the characters around, and encapsulated in this in Tony Da's world. So and I'm glad, and I think there should be every kind of film. We celebrate larger than life films also. We celebrate films which with action and whatnot. But there's, I think, also an audience for such kind of films as well, a very strong audience who likes that realism, or that realisticness, or that rusticness of that texture in a film.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And talking of real, because you've got the very super talented Pankaj Kapoor in the movie, who's playing your grandfather. And उस पे मैंने पढ़ा कहीं पे कि this is like real, कि हम बैठ के खा रहे उपमा and sambar, and then suddenly अपनी granddaughter के साथ, and then suddenly he goes on to a serious conversation about terrorists and this and that. Then he comes back to अच्छा ये बहुत मजे का है. So this is like real stuff, right, that we do with our grandparents. And I thought वो देखने में भी अच्छा लगता ना, but I'm sure you must have learned a lot from Pankaj Kapoor Sahab.
Absolutely. I have Tony that to thank for this, for giving me this opportunity to to work with a legend like Pankaj ji.
Yeah,
And of course, there were a lot of questions, just before I was going to meet him. And you don't want to mess up the scene. You don't want to mess up your lines. You want to be calm. And you have to give it to Pankaj ji for that. You have to give it to the
yeah,
other actor that you're working with, because it's always a synergy of actors and the technicians that create a scene. He
yeah.
was so easy. And I've seen
Mm,
that with a lot of genius actors or any technician or any great director. They'll be the simplest people. They'll be the simplest people, Ruby, that you can just have a normal conversation. You don't have to do anything, break into anything filmy. You don't have to be, um, you just have to be yourself.
yeah, yeah,
And he was so nice to me. He was so kind to me. And I would watch the some of his films that I'd missed watching. I'd watched most of his films, and when I would ask him, he would tell me. And then even after the day's work, or even if I'm reaching back my hotel at 10 p.m., I'm tired. I'm literally I'm dead, but
mm,
I want to watch it so that the next day I can discuss it
yeah,
with him. So I would do that. So I think it does have an impact on your own performance also,
yeah,
on your own character. You find yourself with good actors, and you observe, you see what they do just before
yeah,
the take, how
yeah,
they
yeah,
create that ambience. Why does their performance always stand out? What is it
yeah.
about them that makes them so unique, or so that they're the character? So it's all in small observations.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had a absolutely great time working with Pankaj. I'm so thankful to him to agreeing to play my Nana.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, it's noble of you to even recognize the fact that somebody so senior, you're picking out, observation helps us learn a lot just by looking and
Yeah,
observing. Even if you're learning to drive or something, you learn so much by just
yeah,
looking.
yeah.
कि उसने
True.
कैसे किया. Yeah, that's right. Did you at any point feel scared that, or a little bit like, oh my God, अगर मेरा सीन ठीक नहीं हुआ तो फिर वो क्या सोचेंगे, इस तरह से कभी आपके माइंड में आता है बात?
हाँ हाँ, बिल्कुल आता है. मैंने
Yeah,
कहा ना, जस्ट उनसे मिलने से पहले ही I was excited, but I was nervous also, and you don't
yeah,
want to mess up. As actors, especially when you're working in such a closed environment, you're working on a film. You're working in scenes which it's not about being. You don't have to be friends. You don't have
yeah,
to be uh, cracking jokes or anything. But there has to be a very basic humane connection. There has to be a very basic comfort that you can be yourself. You can make mistakes. There's ground for making mistakes. There's ground for getting better, maybe the next take.
true.
There's ground for suggestion. There's
Mm,
ground for taking and giving suggestion, both. So that basic comfort has to be there. And that's
yeah,
only possible when there is no pretense, when you're not
yeah,
pretending to be,
totally.
you know, I know it, or just be natural, just be
Yeah.
normal, and it'll all be fine. Just take a breath.
I
So,
think that's your
yeah,
prize then, because that's when you learn. When you're so humble and you take that into consideration, because that shows you have no ego. So then that's your uprise
that's
actually,
the
because
word. That's
yeah,
the word, ego.
that's it.
Yeah,
No ego, and your work will do the talking. You don't need to go on
absolutely.
about it, because you will naturally pick up from these talented people, and that's it.
Absolutely.
And I've seen your uprise actually in the films that you've done. You've been so wonderful. I want to ask you one last question. So you're playing a crime journalist, and you're in real life you're an actor. So when you normally get journalists coming up to you and asking, ye bataiye, wo bataiye, whatever, and do you recall using some journalist tips that somebody might have interviewed you and asked you before for your scene? कभी आपने ऐसे जोड़ा कि अच्छा उन्होंने 2 साल पहले बदलापुर में उन्होंने ये मुझे अभी तक याद है मैं भी ऐसे बोलूं, do you use any tips, or do you just it's just you?
uh, because I think entertainment journalism and or entertainment journalists can the nature of the questions are very different from
Yeah,
the kind of journalist I played in the film. So I didn't find any similarity that way. And we kind of made our own reference. The only film I had in mind, it's one of my favorite films when it comes to very realistic or very real films, is Spotlight. I think I really enjoyed watching that film. Again, it was one of those films where the performances, everything was so real, everything was so natural. But in real life, not really. In fact, now at this point, I'm comfortable interacting and talking to journalists. Of course, there was a point way back then where I felt, why is this journalist being mean? Why are they not being, why are they being insensitive? Why are they asking this? Why are they saying these things? And then over the period of time, you realize, okay, it's their work. They have to write certain things. They have to ask certain things. Maybe I said, but whatever said and done, there's a certain, as I said, a very basic sensitivity or vulnerability of just being human that can't be lost. I know you're all doing your job, and so are we. And sometimes, nasty things always get picked up, or today we have clickbait culture and all those things. But on the other hand, we also have a very strong conversation about your mental health, your so many other things. So all those questions get diluted. They make no sense if you're not working on the other side, because in a way you're contributing to this never-ending, unbreakable circle. We have to break that circle somehow.
And I really like the fact that you're just so honest, and so that's it. That's the kind of characters that really make as I said, uprise and go up, because honesty is true. I totally agree. Honesty will uprise you. Your work will make you go up. So it's great. Very finally, I keep saying finally once more. Rahul Khanna ke saath kaisa laga? Because he looks quite smart and handsome in the movie. He's playing his baddie guy.
When has he not looked smart? And I've seen so many messages and so many comments talking about how handsome he looks and all those things. And again, this is the first time I interacted with Rahul. Such a simple guy, such a sweet guy. So again, very nonchalant about anything. We had such an important scene, the only scene in the film where we're actually coming face to face and talking. Such an important scene. But we just did 1 or 2 rehearsals, and that's about it. It was so, again, so natural, so normal, no airs, nothing. That and I actually I messaged him after the film. I said, people are loving your work, Rahul. Thank you for doing this, and you want to see more of you of your work now. Because he was so natural in the film. I thought he was really good and completely and a casting which is done in an unconventional way, is always the best casting, I think, especially for certain characters. And but yes, of course, he's really popular with all men and women, I think, both. And now I think after this film, it's his work and his potential as an actor that is also being talked about so much, and I'm so happy to see that. And I was like, an amazing experience working with him.
Yeah, good. Lost is doing, I mean, the reviews are wonderful, showing on ZEE5. I wish you all the success. I know you've got about 3 films coming out after this. So good luck. Good luck with them. Fingers crossed for all of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
truly
Ruby.
are a natural actress, and that touches a lot of people's hearts, that it's so naturally done and so real. Your facial expressions, everything wonderful. So good luck with Lost.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you so much.
Can you just give a huge shout out to Lyca Radio and Lyca Gold? We have 2 stations here. So, I mean, a lot of people will be watching this on our YouTube channel. So a huge shout out to them.
Sure. I'm just trying to dodge this streak of light which is coming on my face. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Okay. Hi guys, this is Yami Gautam here, and you're listening to me on Lyca and Lyca Gold. And thank you for such a wonderful conversation, Ruby. And always, I think, UK has always welcomed our industry with so much love, so much warmth, and so much excitement. And just keep this going, keep this love pouring, and happy films.
Thank you. Talk to you in the next one, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was a
Take
wonderful
care.
conversation.
Bye.
Thank you.